9. Time to talk to Ben Young. The best ideas are free, and he's joining us from the Ice House once again via Google Hangout. G'day there, Ben.
Good morning.
Good morning. And today we are talking about hobby money and making ideas from hobby money. What do you mean by hobby money?
Yeah. So quite often we talk about serious business ideas, startups and technology and all that kind of stuff. This week I thought, why don't we just talk about a few ideas for people just to make a little bit of money off something they already do anyway. Like not taking it too seriously, but a few extra dollars here or there does make a reasonable difference over the year.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I just wanted to talk about was creating more localized content. In high tourist destinations like Queenstown, you see lots of locals do this. They create a website reviewing the local activities or attractions.
Right.
And where to get the best deals. And quite often they just make a little bit of money off sponsorship.
Yeah.
But equally in bigger cities like Christchurch, Wellington and Auckland, you can do exactly the same thing, right? There's just as much stuff to do up there. There's even more locals who demand more things. So why not turn some of your favourite hobbies into a little website where you can review and rate the cool things that you like to do around Auckland.
And
for example, like top mountain bike tracks or top walking tracks or top cafes for breakfast, top bars, top things to do for under $20. I'm not sure. Just whatever it is that you like to do, why not share a bit of that online?
There's some good ideas
there.
I guess you'd be up against some of those new sites like Localist and Yellow Local as well.
Yeah, but those sites are typically looking for bigger advertisers. Whereas if you just make something really simple, you might find that a local cafe wants to sponsor you, or maybe a mountain bike shop or something like that. And the idea is you're sharing something that you already know and love doing anyway. And if you make a little bit of cash off it, maybe it can make your hobby a little cheaper, or maybe it can become free. Who knows?
Okay, cool. That sounds like a good idea. Well, I mean, how would you make money? You say just get advertisers, or would you include something like Google AdSense?
Yeah, so the best way would be, once you put your content up online, is to just have a little page that says, hey, I am looking for advertisers, I'm open to any offers, and just see what comes about. You'd be surprised at, what people will offer you. It might be a few $100 a month if your site gets a lot of traffic. One thing that I'm always frustrated with is I keep searching for localized content and I don't find it. Like, for example, best breakfasts in Auckland, or again, best mountain bike tracks, and that kind of stuff. So I think there's a real desire there for that content. So if you can provide it from locals, I'm sure some business is going to see a lot of value in that.
Okay, so that's one use for your hobby money. What else?
Yep. So another thing which we're seeing more and more of is renting stuff that you own. So I talked a few weeks back about how you could rent out your car for a few hours with a new website application. The other thing you can do is, if you have a hobby that involves expensive machinery or tools, or even expensive gear, you could look at renting that out to locals if they want to use it for a little bit. And what that means is it makes the barriers to entry much lower. It means you get to meet interesting people in your community, but you also get to make a few dollars off that.
Are there sites that facilitate that at the moment?
I saw one launched yesterday which kind of kicked off that thought. It's called Rentwantcalm, and that basically you can list anything on there that you're happy to rent out and what that rate is. Like, for example, chainsaws or tractors, or let's say a woodwork machine or a sander, or maybe a mixer.
I remember,
or even something silly like a barbecue. Like if you've got a massive barbecue.
Yeah.
the local community might need that. They don't have their own barbecue, or they don't have a big enough barbecue for events.
I really hope something like that does take off, because I remember 2 or 3 years ago, a local site for New Zealand was set up to swap local produce, swap or sell local produce amongst your community, whatever you're growing in your backyard. But the fact I haven't heard from it again in 2 or 3 years means that it didn't take off. So it'd be great to see some of these sort of things gain some traction.
Yeah, I would think that one was probably a bit before its time.
Yeah.
There's definitely a trend in commerce to finding what you do have and making other ways off it. Like we've got Airbnb, which helps you, make money off your spare rooms by renting that out. You've got, I think it is a Zipcar, which allows you to rent out your car on an hourly basis.
Right.
And then we've got this new one, Rentwant, which is about renting your own stuff out.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a bit of an online commerce trend of there's a whole lot of inventory out there in the world, and we all happen to own a little bit of it. So if we put up a website, how can we unlock that inventory?
Yeah. Any other tips
so it's quite interesting.
Yeah. Any other tips for hobby money?
Yeah. There's another one. And you sometimes see this, and I quite enjoy it when I do see it, is if you're a bit of a collector, maybe open up your collection for public viewing, like in the weekends for a few hours or a couple of days a week. You'd be surprised what people collect all around the country, from stamps to jugs to photos to toys. There must be endless amounts of collectibles out there.
Well,
it'll just be cool to see people sharing their passion.
Right. And charge an entry fee?
Yeah, charge an entry fee, or just take a gold coin donation, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's not something that's going to make you mega rich, but it might subsidise your hobby, or allow you to take your hobby a little bit further, which is quite cool.
Yeah. And of course the blindingly obvious one there is Trade Me, and a lot of people do quite well on the side on Trade Me, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure on the stats on the amount of small businesses, but it must be a reasonable amount. I think on eBay in the States, they had 3 million people which derived a significant portion of their income from eBay.
Yeah.
So along the same steps, there must be a reasonable sum of people in New Zealand deriving a significant part of their income off Trade Me.
Indeed. Well, those are some handy tips for earning some extra pocket money, perhaps, and you never know. If it is your hobby and your passion, it could turn into a full-time endeavour.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, just like Ben and his full-time endeavour down there at Young and Shand at the Ice House. I know that was his hobby, and now it's his main business. So there you go. Thanks very much.
It certainly pays the bills.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sweet. Cheers.
Ben Young at way.com, bwagy.com as well, also on